Welcome to Module 11 of the Hermetic Laws in Quantum Physics course. We are standing at a particular kind of threshold. For 10 modules, we have mapped polarity and vibration. But now we turn to face something much harder. We are looking for the place where each tradition, taken on its own terms, simply runs out of road. Every tradition of inquiry has a blind spot. Science has one, Hermeticism has one, and consciousness sits right at the center. Our first essential question asks about the fundamental limitations of the scientific approach to understanding reality. Science is the most successful predictive framework in human history, yet one thing lies systematically outside its reach. That thing is the very consciousness that makes science possible. Why is that? And what does it mean for our worldview? Next, we must be equally honest about the fundamental limitations of the esoteric and Hermetic approach. Hermeticism offers a rich framework for transformation, but can it produce knowledge that is publicly verifiable? If it cannot be tested by others, what kind of knowing is it actually doing? It is a fair question to ask. Finally, is there a blind spot shared by both traditions? We will look for what might lie in that shared space. The measurement problem in quantum physics places the observer at the center of reality, exactly where both traditions struggle. Is this convergence a coincidence, or is it a signpost pointing toward a completely new kind of knowledge? By the end of this module, you will have several key learning objectives to master. Let us look at what you will achieve. You will explain the hard problem of consciousness as formulated by David Chalmers, including that famous zombie thought experiment. We will also articulate the what is it like criterion by Thomas Nagel and see why it challenges physical accounts of mind. You will describe the founding move of modern science, which is the exclusion of the observer, and trace its consequences. The blind spot meditation will challenge you to find the awareness that is doing the looking. It is not as easy as it sounds. Michel Bitbol sees quantum mechanics as a theory about the conditions under which knowledge is possible. There is an explanatory gap between physical processes and the felt quality of experience, which philosophers call qualia. Imagine a being identical to you but with no inner light. That is the philosophical zombie. Does it make sense? Then there is Mary, the color scientist who knows every physical fact about red but has never actually seen it. When she steps out and sees the rose, does she learn something new? The intuition says she absolutely does. Nagel reminds us that no amount of description from the outside can tell us what it is like to be a bat. To understand science's blind spot, we must look at Descartes and the decision to study the world objectively. This objectification of nature is not a flaw. It is the very source of science's extraordinary power. But the cost is high. The scientific map omits the very thing we encounter first and most immediately: our experience. The paradox is that the scientific worldview is built by conscious beings who are not part of the scientific account. Now for the Hermetic side. Its primary method is gnosis, or direct inner knowing, but this knowledge is private. Many Hermetic claims are framed as absolute truths that cannot be proven or disproven. This is quite the pickle. We must also acknowledge the Kybalion as a modern synthesis rather than the ancient source it often claims to be. This shifts the burden of justification from tradition to investigation, which is exactly where it belongs. Quantum mechanics is where it gets genuinely interesting. It forces the observer back into the physical description. The wave function describes possibilities that resolve into acts when a measurement is performed. It is a strange world. Deep responses to the measurement problem all place the observer at the center. This is not just a preference. Interpretations like cubism suggest the wave function is a summary of what an agent knows. It requires a believer. This points toward a participatory epistemology, a new way of knowing that honors both rigor and experience. Henri Bortoff spoke of the authentic whole, where you participate from the inside rather than analyzing from the outside. Francisco Varela proposed neurophenomenology, using neuroscience and experience to illuminate each other. Ian McGilchrist reminds us to restore the proper relationship between the brain hemispheres. Balance is everything. We are not choosing between science and Hermeticism. We are finding where the rigor of one serves the depth of the other. This module includes practices designed to bring these intellectual ideas into your own direct experience. The paradigm switching exercise asks you to describe a single phenomenon from 4 distinct perspectives. Give it a try. Let us dive deeper. The hard problem is not a difficulty with our technology. It is a problem with our framework. Knowing the shape of your ignorance is a rare form of knowledge. Module 12 will turn this analysis into discernment. The hard problem may be the most important question of our century. Carry the question. It will carry you. I will see you in the next module. Let us continue the journey together.